Olivia. In this review, I'm going to be talking about the movie Death of a Unicorn. Oh my gosh, I have tried to say that name 70, this is probably take 75. I struggle with the name. I always want to put a the or an before it, a Death of a Unicorn or the Death of a Unicorn. It's literally just called Death of a Unicorn, but I struggle so badly saying that. Or I'll call it The Last Unicorn because, that was some weird nostalgic fever dream movie I watched when I was 7. Anywho, for those of you who have not seen my TikTok or YouTube short that I just posted yesterday about my Death of a Unicorn theater reaction, this movie has Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd as the two main characters, a father-daughter duo. Jenna Ortega plays a girl named Ridley in this movie, and Paul plays a guy named Elliot. Now, like I said in my TikTok and YouTube short, I love this movie. I did not have very high standards for this movie, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because once again, if you go into movies with really high standards nowadays, you're gonna come out disappointed. But this movie was honestly very fun. Now, it is classified as an action horror. I think it was considered to be kind of scary, but honestly, this movie was hilarious. Death of a Unicorn was funny. This was more of a comedy, but it was very subtle. It was a dark comedy, which I did appreciate. Now, before I get into reviewing this movie and, talking about it, things to keep in mind, this is a spoiler-free review, so there will be no spoilers. And also, please hit that notification bell and subscribe button before we get started. Our next big milestone is 1,000 subscribers. I know we can get there, guys. Okay, really fast overview of the plot without giving anything away. Father-daughter duo, Elliot, aka Paul Rudd, and Ridley, aka Jenna Ortega. They're on their way to this business meeting with these really wealthy, rich people that the dad really needs to work with so he can make more money. Ridley's mom died because, you can't have a happy family in movies where the parents are alive and together. Someone's always got to be dead or left mysteriously for no reason. So the bond between Ridley and Elliot, Jenna Ortega and her father in this, isn't great. But anywho, on their way to this meeting, they hit a unicorn, and nobody really takes those roads. They're kind of not abandoned, but nobody really uses them. So if they were to just let the unicorn bleed out there, nobody would really drive by and see it. And there's no reception to call anyone, so they drag the unicorn into the back of the truck, which don't ask me how, because as a horseback rider and a stable hand, how in the world did they manage to do that? Horses are heavy. I can't even push them out of the way when I'm mucking up their crap. Okay, anywho, that's probably TMI for y'all. A little off topic, kind of losing the plot here. Whatever, kind of weird how they managed to drag this really heavy 300-pound plus unicorn in the back of their trunk, but whatever, I respect it. So they get to these people's house and stuff starts going down. Turns out Ridley, aka Jenna Ortega, had a special connection with the unicorn when she touched its horn. So she's she thinks something's up. She's guys, we gotta bounce and get out of here. Something really bad's gonna happen. But of course, these rich people are ooh, dead unicorn, we can make profit off of this. And they're not listening to Ridley because, they just want the money. Honestly, respectable. Some random little girl was trying to sabotage my plan of making cash. I'd be no, get out of here. I need to go on another cruise. So then the bad stuff starts happening from there, which I won't spoil or give anything away. Now, Death of a Unicorn was not what I expected it to be about. It did have that dark vibe to it. I honestly thought it was gonna be one of those movies where it was sunny most of the time. They stumble across a unicorn in the wild. It would just have a different vibe and setting to it. I don't know. I didn't watch the trailer really or anything. I kind of just saw the photo of it when they were it looked like they were kind of on a highway and Jenna was staring at the mouth of the dark unicorn. So yeah, I was not expecting this movie at all to be how it is, where they're at this mega wealthy people's house. Okay, let's talk about the acting. So Jenna Ortega plays the same character in every movie. Rebellious young teen girl who's kind of moody, sassy, kind of a diva. Doesn't really have any emotion in her acting. Just very stoic and very plain. I mean, she's not a bad actor, but she's nothing great either. In the Netflix show Wednesday, she was awesome because, that was how her character was supposed to be. In this movie, she was just there, you know? She was good, but once again, her character, like, didn't have any, like, emotion. She was very dry in this movie, but still great in this. Like, her acting was still great. Just kind of the same as everything else she's in. Paul Rudd's acting was amazing, but the character was bad. Like, the character he played in this movie was not likable at all, because he was, like, an awful father. He was only in it for the money, kind of just wanted, he was selfish, very selfish in this movie, which I didn't really have a problem with. I mean, you know, I was like, okay, cool, let's get some, like, you know, complex character development in here, because, like, obviously he's being selfish, but, like, he's also, you know, trying to give Ridley a better future, but obviously he's still a beephole. Not a good father at all. The rich family, though, it was a dad, the mom, and then the son. They were amazing. They were hilarious. They carried the whole movie. The mom and son did. The dad was like this old Nosferatu wannabe at first. Shepard was the son's name. He was played by Will Poulter. And the mom was Belinda, played by Tia T. Leone. I don't know, something. Anyway, they were fantastic. Shepard was hilarious. Bro, like, wanted nothing to do with any of those people. He just wanted the money, too. He did his best thinking in the hot tub. So the acting and characters were all amazing. Death of a Unicorn was a beautiful movie, though. I mean, it was gorgeous to look at, I will admit. Only thing that some people didn't like and was kind of controversial were the unicorns. A lot of people think they looked very fake and, like, AI generated and just kind of clashed with, like, the rest of, like, the live action, very realistic looking movie. Like, my dad, for example, thought that the unicorns looked very cartoonish. I liked them. I thought they were cool. I mean, yeah, they did kind of clash a little with, like, the, you know, regular setting of the movie. But I loved their look. They definitely had a very unique look to them. The dark ones, at least. The light form, like their regular version, looked really scary and not, like, in a, ooh, spooky way. Like, in a, this looks terrifyingly disturbing and kind of creepy. But the dark form of them was really freaking cool. All the side characters were amazing, like the two scientists and the butler. There really wasn't that many characters in this movie, and that's what I love about it, because when you have a movie with, like, a lot, like a whole cast and crew of people, background characters, side characters, main characters, there's always a few characters that you're like, okay, I don't like this person, get him out of here. But I did appreciate how, like, literally there wasn't that many people in this movie. It was really nice because you got, like, to have more of a connection with the very few people that were in it. And it wasn't, like, overwhelming with, like, oh my gosh, we got this person here with this backstory, this person here going through this and trying to, like, plan this. It was a very simple movie, but cool. Once again, like I kind of briefly mentioned earlier, Death of a Unicorn was more of a comedy movie. Like, I found myself laughing more than I was like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. But also, like, you know, it's unicorns here. How scary can we make this movie? Because, like, animals just aren't scary. Unless if it's, like, some fictitious made-up animal hybrid thing, then, I mean, people can get real creative with that. But, like, a horse with a horn isn't that scary. With that being said, even though this movie, like, wasn't scary, there was still a lot of jump scenes with, like, the unicorns. And I found myself, like, at the edge of my seat. Like, this movie was still very intense. Like, these aren't no magical, cute little fun, pink, fluffy, cotton candy Maine unicorns you think of when you're a kid. No, these were, like, vicious, bloodthirsty monsters. With that being said, Death of a Unicorn is a rated R movie, which I love. It's a really fun watch. The story and plot all made sense. I mean, once again, they really didn't go anything crazy with it. It mostly relied on, like, people, like, men betraying each other for the money. It's all about the money in this. With, like, the little, like, you know, side quest of the unicorns, because they had to tie them in too. But they all, like, work together. Like, the unicorns and the people / wanting greedy money it all came together. So this movie is a little more complex in that sense than just a simple like, oh my gosh, Jenna Ortega stumbled across a unicorn in the woods. Oh no, it's chasing her now. It does have more of a complex storyline, and they use a lot of big words that like I definitely had to Google a few after I got home when they're talking about like the sciencey stuff. Now, I'd probably rate this movie like an 8 out of 10. I would go that high and give it that. The reason why I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 was, did feel a little long in some parts, especially like building up to the whole tension of like the dark unicorns and like, bringing them out here. But it was very funny and still moved pretty quick compared to the last movie I saw. I watched a movie after Death of a Unicorn. It was The Lady in the Yard or something, Woman in the Yard, which I will be doing a review of that right after this one because, I do have some stuff to say about that, but yeah. So this movie was just very intense. Would I watch it again? Not recently. I probably wouldn't see it for like another maybe few years if I forgot it and I was like watching it with a group of friends or like family or something. I'd never watch it by myself like, oh my gosh, this movie was so good. But like, I would recommend it to people who haven't seen it just because this is definitely one of the top movies of 2025. Because movies coming out nowadays just aren't good anymore. They're either way too long or have incredibly slow pacing. The acting and characters aren't like great and you can't really connect with them. The story's messy. Like there's always something. This movie genuinely was like almost perfect. I didn't have any negatives really to say about this movie at all. But Jenna Ortega, like always, did good. Kind of hard for her to, do bad in the movie when every character that she plays is the exact same. Very intense, action-packed movie. A lot better than I expected. Just maybe don't go in with your hopes super high up, or go in don't even see the trailers to movies, and you might find yourself enjoying them more. Now, I don't really have anything else to say about this movie, just because, it got to the point. It was simple. It did its job. So my next review, I will be doing the movie Woman in the Yard, and then I'll do The Godfather, either 1 or maybe I'll do 1 and 2, depending on if I like them or not, because I haven't seen those movies yet, but I do want to watch them. And then somebody commented in my YouTube shorts that I should do, I don't really know what this is, but do, a recap of, all the movies coming out. It had some, fancy term for it. I don't really know what it is, but, I know my dad usually does them on, his live streams and stuff. But I'll definitely check that out. Because I know we have a lot of big movies coming up soon. We have Superman, The Thunderbolts, 28 Years Later or something, and a few more I can't think of off the top of my head. So maybe I'll do, a recap of all the movies coming out. And then I'll do what if I look forward to them or not, how I think they're gonna be, and stuff like that. So anyway, if you enjoyed this review, please leave in the comments your thoughts if you've seen this movie. Make sure to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed. Hit that notification bell. So close to 1,000. Oh my goodness, I almost said 100,000. We are not close to 100,000, but it'd be awesome if we were. Thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you around.